Okay, day 68 working on this app. At least it's much more than that, but this is the stream 68. Um, and I hope it's getting close to being ready. I'm doing the opposite of MVP. I'm doing the opposite of what everyone suggests. But I'm building the app of my dreams, what I want. So right now, what I'm adding is uh, allocated and allocating. So allocated means how much you allocated for a budget in the month. So there is this concept of budget allocation. So setting aside some money to spend on a particular budget category. And while the app at present shows how much is spent in a period, whatever that is, could be a month, a week, or a day, or whatever you want. Actually, I think the minimum period you can select is 3 days, but yeah, there is no reason why I can't expand this to allow totally custom periods. Um, but it shows how much is spent in the period. It shows how much is available. That means how much was allocated up to that moment, minus how much was spent in that category up to that moment. Yeah. And then it doesn't show how much was allocated in the period, but I think that would be useful to know. So to see how you allocate your money, which is not necessarily the same how you spend your money, especially because sometimes you have to build up to a big purchase. And so you allocate, 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 and finally you can buy a motorcycle or a car or computer or whatever that is. Or you go negative and then you have to allocate. In the future, anything can happen, right? Right. So I got to the point where to where I have this provider in the app. This is the monorepo, includes both the app and the website. So I got the app here in the app folder. If I can even find it, there you go. Lib is a source code in Flutter, and see this. Okay. And I got providers, and I have something about the group budget notifier that does these calculations. Okay. And I created some tests with the help of GPT-5, but then I changed them heavily. It was very good to get an initial structure for the test, saving a lot of time. But the tests were not quite good because they were not testing in depth what they should be testing. So then I changed the condition, the values, and stuff to make them more meaningful. Actually, it's only one test because it has quite a bit of setup with the database, in-memory database, and I don't know where that is. So I'm gonna do a test of this provider, grouped budget modifier. It's called grouped because it groups budgets by currency, so that allows to see all the totals by currency as well. So that's why it's called grouped. And if I do a search for grouped budget notifier, if I can spell, I will find the test budget notifier test. There you go. And it's in the same folder, is that? Yeah, we're doing the test in the same folder, and it's all happening all along. I forgot about that. No, 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 no. That's we have a test folder. Yeah, I just got fooled because there is same directory structure. Yeah. I spent so much time on the website and on the Firebase services that I'm starting to forget about the app. I'm so glad that I can go back to the app now because that's where the progress I need to do. will happen. So he sets up here, I set up the databases in memory, and then he starts with the setup. What's the difference between setup all and setup is every time, right? Let me see. Setup all is for every test, right? And this is a function to be run before all tests. Ah, okay, only once. We only one test, so it won't make any difference. And this one is to be run before test. So only once you set up the database as a memory database, this is defined here. That's a class I wrote to simplify the interaction with SQLite, which I use SQLite library. Then he wipes the DB just to be sure, even though it's a memory database, start blank. But I guess if there is more than one test in the future, that will be handy. And then he sets up an initial state, which includes one account, then some allocations, and some expenses. Then he set up a date range of 30 days from the beginning of September to the end of September included. And then we do that to override the DB provider and the date range provider. Okay, so we have our own instead of the initialization or default initialization. And then he fetched the budgets, but there aren't any at that point. I know there are. Where did he set the budget? I forgot that. So if a certain account, there is an allocation, insert allocations, and then it sends the transaction for the expenses. This budget ID is passed into. Oh, that's where I insert the budget. Okay, the groceries budget. Okay. Set up one IST budget and default account foreign key requirement. Well, I was thinking this could be also some method like this: insert budget, insert or insert budget and account. I don't know, but I'm not going to touch this test further because now we are back on main. The previous change was to build this test to fix what's already working before adding the actual allocation and understanding how to modify the code. And actually, I already did modify the code before to compute allocated in range. This is also allocated, but it's allocated for what? That's confusing. I thought that's allocated for since the beginning of time, but maybe I'm wrong. So let's talk to ChatGPT and clarify a few things. So I got a ChatGPT Plus subscription, and I'm resizing the window now. And I've been incredibly surprised by how much I could use this subscription without being blocked. I never been blocked. I've been blocked a lot by Claude, but not by ChatGPT. Mind, I'm not firing queries like crazy, but I send a quite a number of queries and I've never been blocked. So I'm really surprised of the value of this $20 monthly subscription, 20 plus taxes, so 21.4, pretty cheap for what it is. So it's like, you know, I um I stopped the Claude subscription because GPT-5 is a better model than Sonnet. It's probably than Sonnet, correct. It's probably comparable to Opus, but Opus is $100 per month. So the value is not there. Okay, so I'm saying that we work on the test before. This part of the work is now finished and PR is merged. And I have to work to allocated calculation only, on the allocated calculation only, uh, without, let me move this, doesn't make any sense. Um, well, it does make sense, but it's not fluid. Without the UI change. Okay. Um, allocated for budget. I think it's on the beginning of the time. Let's check. Date range. Aha. Where args and timestamp. Where? Aha. So I would rename this because now we'll have also allocated in range. So it's better to be very clear on what is what. So spent for budget total. Oh, okay. Um, okay. For the first part, let's. Oh, wait. We are now in main branch and is up to date. Create a new branch for this work. We may create multiple commits, but don't switch branch again until I tell. And I'm adding this because before at GPT-5 had the tendency. GPT-5 seems to work worse with Git than Claude, even Sonnet. And then the tendency to create many branches for every single name change or little thing. We are working already on a very focused branch that is just do the calculation, which is just one query basically, plus the test, plus modify, rename some methods. Ah, shall we have a very focused branch only refactoring? Mhm. Let's delete that. We are now on main branch and it is up to date. I don't say anymore. Create a new branch to refactor method names to better capture what they do. And when I say method names, new branch of method names in this grouped budgets notifier, which is here. Okay, here are my thoughts. So let's take it. I take it that very slowly because going slow is going fast. Produce better code, future proof. Make sure it, there's not a lot of slop written, but it's something I understand very well, not just the AI. So the first method is update spent and avail. Already needs to change. Update spent and avail. What they will do after we add. Okay, that was not correct. After we'll add allocated and allocating. I didn't talk about allocating, but allocating is basically what will be allocated in a similar period if the same settings stay the same for the automatic allocation. I realize that's a bit complex, but So if I allocate $10 a day for groceries, I don't know, just an example, um, then at the end of the month, if the month is 30 days, it will be $300. So that's the allocating. And the reason why it might be different is because I can change the settings throughout the month at any time. So allocating is kind of future looking, and allocated is looking at the past. I wonder if this is be confusing. Probably it will be. So update spent and avail. Update will become. It could be, you know, becomes update spent, avail, and allocated and allocating. But it could also be update metrics. But I think we talked about that before. It was by ChatGPT suggestion at a certain point. But I don't remember if it was budget metrics, but I think we are in the context of the group budget notifier. So, being that context, update metrics should be enough. Looking back at the history, I doubt I will find it. Go a lot. Okay, let's do it. Let's go with it. Yeah, my thoughts. What I'm gonna say, thoughts. Um, Feel free to suggest different names if they make more sense. Okay? So update spent and avail update metrics. Great. Let's go keep on looking. Update the spent and avail rows, of course, will become update matrix rows. So there is a row for matrix rows or matrix rows. Probably matrix is kind of a word or on its own as plural. Okay, let's keep on looking. Look also inside here. Spend for budgeting range, super clear. Spent for budget total, kind of clear, but it's not quite true because we are excluding anything in the future. So I call this concept, we call this concept in the to end, up to end. Is more precise. Spent for budget to end or up to end. Maybe up to end is better. Ooh, what did I do? Type it again. Spent for budget up to end. So until the end of the period, starting for the beginning of times. I can do this refactoring, not ask the LLM. So I will ask her only about the names and I will tell don't do any code changes. I will do them. Spent for budget total, okay. Allocated for budget, okay. That's where um, is not clear, but this is also up to end. So let's clarify that. Allocated for budget up to end. Let's see if anything else. I'm going through every single method now. Update spent and available row. We already no, that's singular. Okay. Update spent and avail row is another method. It's basically the same as this. Update matrix rows. Yeah, this is private. And this stays private too. I realized I should have used an editor to write this, but this is not too bad. This editing here, but I also want to keep this. So let's use an editor going further. So I copy this. I keep this for while I do the work. Then we don't need to keep it anymore. Okay, now we got this weird stuff. I'm sure there is a way to select a column, not this way. Control. I always forget. It's not. Let's learn it. I think it's the same as VS Code, but I don't remember in VS Code. It's some command shift combination, but how to select a column in set editor. Let's specify better. Use the free AI for simple questions, so they don't go on my budget. Mac, yeah, same. Option Shift and cursor. That's not easy to remember. Option Shift. No, this is duplicating. Drag your cursor. Drag. Ah, no, drag. Okay, let's say with the mouse it means, yeah. Option Shift. Oh my goodness. And then try with the mouse. Yeah, that works. I wanted the keyboard only one, but can't have everything. That's enough. Okay, so this is no. Close this. This is not. This is the only public method. All the other methods are private. All the renames so far, I'm happy with them. Yep. And let's put a space here because this will be the bit to be copy and pasted in here. Once I finish editing. Okay, let's go on. So update allocated for value done. Update Spencer we just done. Update totals. Uh, that can be the same, or it could be matrix totals, or it can be the matrix by currency. It's still a row, so I think as I said I leave a space. Update totals doesn't convey that it's still a row of total. I always say row here. So let's try to add only row for now and see what totals. Row. More than one total. It could be called matrix totals. But I think it's fine like this. Then we go update spent and avail row. We just got it. Then we have spent in range. Okay, then we have spent total. It's spent total amount. That's confusing. Where this spent total comes from? Argument. Okay. Let's see. This spent total comes here. Spent for budget total, which we rename up to end. I think we should rename only methods only and rename those variables because this will be spent up to end better rather than total. But I think if you get lost changing methods and variable names at the same time will get very confusing. So let's focus only on methods. Update totals we already rename. Total for currency. No, I think this should be private unless it's tested. It says reference for, it looks like all the references are in the same file. Yeah. So unless we want to test it, let's make it private and let's rename. It's summing anything, this one, and it doesn't care. So, and probably total is okay because there is no, yeah, there is no check on dates, just does a sum. Okay. Spend for budgeting range is already a good name. Find budget rows. Not sure what that means. Let's see what table is querying. I see columns. I see where is the table? Goodbye. Ah, here. Yeah, it's budget transactions, really. I think, but it's grouped over in range. Yeah. This is more fine spent in range, I think. But let's see, because also finding the budget rows. Okay, spam. Let's ban this user. Okay, suggest a new name. Let's. I'm not sure how to call this. Spent for budget total. I think that's already. Yep. Allocated for budget. Ah, this is already renamed, isn't it? Yeah, correct. Group budget provider. That's fine. Yep. Ah, okay. So this is like what it takes to create a good prompt, other than how computer allocated and then have a mess. We are on my branch. Create a new branch to refactor method names. Okay. Do not do any code changes. Okay. Just reply to my suggestions, rename suggestions. So it means I'm changing also before. So I think that's why it's better to edit in an editor the prompts. Let's get rid of everything with Control K. Okay, fantastic. Do not do is right here. Any code changes. Just reply to my rename suggestions. Yeah, I decided to create a branch before, but that's it. Here my so here we are concerned only about method names. We will rename variables in the next commit on the same branch. Again, I'm stressing this because GitHub GPT has a tendency to create too many branches for just everyone. A commit is enough. And already creating a branch for just this refactoring, which I think makes a lot of sense because it's a self-contained super small step. So I don't do the refactoring and the update. There would be A PR very difficult to review, but PR that is only refactoring is straightforward to review, and then the update should be fairly straightforward. Don't touch too many code. All right, let's go fire the prompt. And there it's working. Nice. And ChatGPT is slower than Sonnet, but I really don't mind because the quality of output is generally better. There are things that are annoying. Sonnet does better, especially documentation sometimes, and especially Git handling and commands. And I had to put this in auto accept. That's another fault of GPT because if you put the other modes, it should ask you to approve, but instead you get stuck and then they say, "Oh, I can't do it." That doesn't work too well. So I put in out of set and also do small steps. That works. Okay, let's see the answer. We got an answer. Created. Oh God, you see, there are specific uh, guidelines on how to create branches, and they totally ignore it. What a pain. So now I created a branch that I got to delete myself. Okay, my bad. And good that it didn't change any code here, so that's already quite good. Um, Git check out main and git delete this branch. We don't have any other branch. So I create the branch as GH for GitHub. I know I should have used the project name, but that's how it went here. I have only one project, so it's fine. And I'm trying to find the browser. And then we got the issue we are working on, 89. So 89. And then, uh, yeah, the name is fine. So we got this name. I should have said my hyphen B, I forgot. Let's fix that. Okay. And this is clarified in the instruction that should be in the context every single time. But I find myself having to often remind about things are already in the basic instructions. Never mind. But this is valuable. Like it's like having a partner suggesting you, okay, agree, 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 agree. Okay. Should be this up. Yeah. If it sums value, maybe it does, yeah. Total is the one that's, yeah. The one that, yeah, yeah, good idea. Find budget rows is what I didn't know. How to name expenses, sum by budgets in range. Yep, I like that. Even though we call it spent everywhere else. So I will maybe stick with spent. I don't know. Optional consistency tweak for later. For standardizing up to end versus in range, we are doing that. Ensuring both are reflected in method name across metrics helper. We don't have a metrics helper. I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. Okay, let's start to work. So update span and avail becomes update matrix. No. In IntelliJ I can do refactor rename, but here there is a rename update matrix. Good. Number one done. The test will be updated automatically too. Okay. Update spent and avail rows. Update matrix rows. Should really use F2 function F2. No, just F2. Correct. And just doing slowly because if I make a mistake, it will be a total mess to try to figure out. Spent for budget total. Spent for budget up to end. Spent for budget. It's here. Okay. Allocated for budget up to end. Okay, that's very important because after we add allocated for budget in range, it will be incredibly confusing. Yeah, then these variables will need to rename. And now I got a wide 110 lines. It's good to use wide identifiers here. Long identifiers, I guess I say we should produce wide code. I realize I was a fan of short and sweet one word names, but as complexity grows, it's better to be clear. When you look at this code 6 months later, which is exactly what I did now, things were not clear. Allocated for budget up to end. Allocate spent, update spent and available. There you go. Becomes update matrix row. Great. Update totals row. Okay. Total for currency. Total for currency acceptable. Sum for currency. Okay. Sum for currency. Okay. I agree with that. Become private. That was like a little mistake. Um, okay, we done that. Find budget rows. Okay, that's the one I changed quite a bit. I think that's maybe this should be extracted somewhere else, but now let's not do too much. Maybe query should be not here. Query expense some. Okay, let's start put that down. The only thing is expenses. It looks like it's very precise, correct, but because I always call it spent, I will go with spent. Nice. So let's check the test quickly as well. Where is the actual test here? Compute spent in range and available until end. until end looks better than up to end. Oh, I've done the renames, but I am now thinking that until end is better than up to end. What do you think? And also now, now it's time to refactor variable names to capture. After that, in case we do that change, that it will be time to rename variables and parameters, to reflect this new understanding. Please suggest, but don't change. Uh, let me do. So what I'm gonna do is like commit. Let's commit. I commit and I just commit, not push. Git commit -am. So I tell him to do the refactoring. If I don't like for the variable name, if I don't like it, I can always undo. Commit and gonna say refactored group budgets notifier method names. No need to push. Okay, I've done names, but now I'm thinking until end, up to end is better. What do you think? Until end is better than up to end. After that, it will be time to rename variables and parameters to reflect this new understanding. Please change them. Let's change them accordingly. Okay, so let's hope it doesn't mess up, but if it does, it's easy to undo, so no problem. I deleted your branch and created a new branch called mhm, following guidelines. Don't switch branches, don't commit, don't do any Git operation. Maybe I should tell, because GitHub is such a mess, Git, I should tell, do not fucking touch Git, let me do it. Yeah. Okay, the stage is yours. Go ahead with the second round of refactorings. Um, but I want to add as well, break it up in more steps if you need to, and stop to ask for confirmation. Unfortunately, I'm in auto accept because it doesn't work well in the other modes. I would rather be in the confirm everything mode, but that just doesn't work. Please fix it, GPT-5 or OpenAI. It gets stuck and it says, oh, I can't do the change. And then it says, approve, do the change. I can't do it. Mm. It's such a pain. Claude works so well. Yeah, Claude Code. It asks you confirmation, yes or no. Sometimes, most of the time I say yes, or actually 60-70% of the time I say yes, 40% I say no and say change this, change that, or just forget it. Okay. Let's see what it does. Spent until end. Ah, I agree with me. Partially. It did only the rename of variable, not method, but I can do that myself. Allocate it until end. Yeah, up to end. It's such a more elegant. It means the same thing, but it's more elegant than until up to. Spent until end, allocated until end. Very nice. This should be the parameters. Oh, nice the answer test. Very good idea. Yep. Oh, okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so let's take this in. Let's go here. Go cd app. Let me run Flutter test as well. It doesn't take that much, that long. Yeah. So, right. Let me. We are working only on one file, so let me collapse that. All test pass. That's very quick. Okay. Spent in range. I was already good. Spent until end. Allocated until end. Let's do the method I named myself. I don't need GPT for that. Spend for budget until end. Nice. Allocated for budget until end. Let's see. It's actually longer, yeah, but it's so more elegant. Um, yeah. Spent until end, allocated until end. So let's do in range, spent until end, spent until end, allocated until end. Nice. How is it for budget if there is on a date range parameter? Yeah, it's because I already it's filtered before, isn't it? Sure, I don't know. These are variable, but can be final. Yeah, that's very confusing. It's not, it's for budget, but it's for all the budget. It's a map. So the ID is the budget. It looks like it's for one budget. Maybe it should be by budget. Final. But anyway, let's not get too crazy. It's already 100 times better than it was before. So let's move on. Spent in range amount until end. Spent in range, spent until end. Allocated until end. Allocated until end, spent until end. Oops. Allocated until end. Sum for currency. Very nice. Very nice. Ah, that's not okay. Uh, maybe. Yeah, maybe that total. We call it total already in some other place. Okay. Sum for currency, amount for budget. Mm. This is just the sum, so spent for budget in range. query spent sum in range. Yeah, all good. Query spent by budget in range. Yeah, that's where spent for budget until end. Allocated for budget until end. Alright. I have renamed. So there should be no up to anymore. Yeah, correct. There isn't anymore any up to. This is a bit outside the screen, isn't it? Can do like this. Okay, maybe like this. Leave that out. Or maybe the file name should stay in. Okay. I renamed the methods already now. Let's do a commit. I just commit and push. Doesn't matter now. All good. Let's create a PR. I'm not asking this Git anymore. Let me do it myself. That is all the description I want. My only thing I want to be more precise about is the file name. Okay, now we can create a PR. So we'll run the CI/CD pipeline. There you go, already started. There is quite a few steps. Actually, two, four, maybe four. Also on the E2E test, we can interrupt them. Only the unit tests are enough for this change. Nice, 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 nice. So going back here, now that we are all committed and clean, let's go back to talk to GPT-5. I renamed the methods already now. I am only thinking about for versus by. Dunque, there is a query. Let's go query. Spend some by budget. Example. This doesn't return a single budget. It returns a map, which returns a map where the key is the budget ID. How to make it more clear? So this is like a sub point, yeah. Comment or better method name, and then I want to say the four methods which do the same thing. Spend man, I copied too much. On the other hand, methods like spend for I said that's not nitpicking. Now I'm totally nitpicking. Spend for budget in range. Spend for budget until end. etc do the same thing. So not as in query, but is what is returned. I return a map with budget ID S key, but they use 4 instead of Y. What do you suggest? Don't do any changes. Let's just discuss. Mm, yeah, let's go with that. We'll maybe waste one prompt, but I need to go a second. Come back in 30 seconds, 1 minute. The suggestions. By for returning a collection group by a dimension. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that that was the case. Yeah. For given this rule, query spent by it returns a row the B rows. Yep. Let's to close the right. Return columns. Yeah, yeah. Map returning helpers for versus by. If you want to avoid another round of renames, yeah, it's okay. Let's do another round of renames. So I will do them. Let me see. Map returning. The only thing I don't understand yet is keep for. Returning a scalar. It doesn't know. It says if it returns. Query. No, it does not return. No, we already said. Okay, let's start with the rename. So we remove half of the discussion. Map returning help current for suggesting to switch to by spent in range by budget ID. Oh, that's how it makes clear that it's a map. Rename let me know which direction I prefer. Spent in range by budget. Metric first, period next. Grouping last. Reads well, scans consistently. Yep. Rename by budget ID now for the map returning helpers. Keep names and add clarifying the current. Rename later, but adopt the. Okay. What's the difference between B and C? Let's go for A. Okay. But I have to clarify that the query itself does not return. I should have seen that, but that's okay. Row db rows, but you should have seen that. No, that's not the one. Oops. Is this one? Query spent sums. Oh, that's old. Hmm. Query spent some budget range, but the oh yeah, it does return HBOs. Oh yes, I was wrong. Does return row db rows. Budget ID currency amount. That's what he said. Yeah, I can't find it. Uh, uh, yeah, that's I said the new name, the old name, everything was correct. Yeah. Go ahead with the renames. And also add comment comments only where needed, which I think it's only the DB query for the fields. That's it. Which is maintenance problem comments, but sometimes I know as fundamentalist as I was, some comments are good. Not too many, not too much. Not too many comments, but some comments. Excellent. Changes carefully, yes, please. But even if screw up, no problem. We can revert. No changes done so far. Then that's it. That's a change. We're gonna merge after testing. No, this is brown because we are searching it. Okay. Ooh, everything is amazing, man. So good, man. So good. Next, we can start with the real change. Was this method was a Flutter analyze? Let's see what's the status now. I think it should be good. Yeah, all good so far at the moment. Just resizing to keep this in the screen. Ah, there you go. Yeah, that's enough. Okay. This screwed up a little bit here, but doesn't matter. Let's see, 145 seconds, yeah. Still working on allocated per period, but yeah, this is like the pre-refactoring part. Ah, okay, that's already done. I kind of missed it. Okay, that's the output. Let's see. Spent in range by budget ID. And it was spent for budget in range. Yeah, so much better. Spent until end by budget ID. Allocated until end by budget ID. Spent in range by budget ID. We expense sum by budget ID in range. Wait a second. It's kind of not following the same pattern, but let's let it slide. Um, yep, correct. Also correct to keep that. Yeah, maybe it's a bit too much to do that, but it's okay. Actually, it makes it really easy to verify. Keeping this rather than being too smart, it makes it really easy to update. Just copy and paste from there. Yeah, yeah, that's better. Even though at this point, we can delete that and just say look it down, so we don't need to update anymore. The columns, fine. Just kind of bit of a help. So there is no more maintenance, problem. Spent until end by budget ID. Yep, allocated. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You already ran the test for only that function. That's fine. That's the only thing that we changed. Actually, if it's used anywhere, but we change all internal methods, so it should not be a problem. But I will run anyway. Flutter analyze just to be sure, and also run a Flutter test for everything. I forgot how to say Flutter test. Isn't it? Test. No rest. Test. Doesn't seem. Is that a Flutter test? Ah, I should be in the right folder, then it will work. Okay. Flutter Analyze seems to work from anywhere, but just to make sure, let's me run it again from here. Yeah. Okay. No, that's it. Yeah, we always want to, as part of the personality of GTT4, to always suggest the next thing. And sometimes the next thing suggested doesn't make sense at all, like in this case. Let me commit this. This is a good change. Okay. Okay, I can't resist to just check this. According to your rules, shouldn't by budget ID be at the end? That's it. Yeah, that's it. We move on. There is the last thing I will do as a refactoring. And we have a very good branch. Very good change. Let's see what's that. Yes, good catch. To follow metric span period grouping rule, the grouping prefix should be last. Yeah, let's skip it. Recommendation. Query expenses sum by budget ID in range. Query expenses sum in range by budget ID. Okay, let me do that. So query expenses sums by budget ID in range becomes this one. Let me do that. Rename. Boom. Nice. There we go. Spend some in range, optional alternative. You want to group in more explicit? Nah, no, that's fine. Okay, so save. We are good. Let's commit. So commit and push, all good. Let's go to, this is the final one. Go for a review first. Let's kill the previous actions, otherwise it will take forever to run this pipeline. Cancel workflow. Cancel workflow. Cancel workflow. I think after it takes a little bit of a time to actually kill them. This one already doing the node checks. Hmm. This is the actual workflow that we want to run. The other killed. Perfect. Review the PR very quickly. Once more, because we already, be very well aware. Oh, this, we just, we have a quick scan. That's it. Nice. So what I will do is wait for, we don't need to wait for integration test because we didn't actually change anything there, but I will wait for Flutter checks. Oh, Marshmallow. Okay, that's a good time. I bring you to the garden. We have time now. So now it's executing the E2E test, which however takes too long. So we will let them run. Oh my god, man, is such a mess. It will take too long, but we let them run in the background. And we can merge right away because there is no way they're gonna fail. We just renamed stuff. So there you go. Squash and merge so we can move on. And if they do fail, which I don't really think is possible, then we can always fix. Oh, marshmallow. Yes, I'm coming, marshmallow. Leave it. So and stop the aircon. Okay. All right. So that's merged. So what we're gonna do now? Check out main, pull, fetch all, delete the branch, and we're ready for the next bit. And we got coffee. And it's too hot to be drank now. Okay, so the next bit should be very, very, very easy. And it's like, no, it's all good. I merged and we are back to main. Please create a new branch to compute. Man, I don't know how, according to the new naming, maybe we can already give the right name. Yeah, we can. Uh, okay, there are two things to do. One is to compute allocated in range. We have allocated until end by budget. Let's write this again instead. So we have allocated until end by budget ID. What we need to compute is allocated in range by budget ID. So this can be tested because, well, it can be tested, but because it's private method, yeah, the total, it still use the same map, but it can do the total. All of these are maps. Let's see, by the way, I can go on with this. Final. Every variable is can be final. I know I don't need to say double, but I think it's a good very because we have a lot of maps around. So it's very good to know just by looking and not having to do that. That's a double. So I will keep it in here as well. Yeah, and then if I be explicit there too. Aha. So this is called budget. Oh, yeah, we need to add allocated to compute allocated in range steps. Add allocated to budget. Oh, maybe I can't do it, man. Uh, let me do that. Mm, no, it's a pain. Yeah. Including copy with. Yeah, we need that too. No, it's a two map for because it doesn't have a lot. Right. And let's see, yeah, from the top. Allocated in range by budget ID in update matrix rows. So that means setting it on group just notifier. Unit tests in, let's be super specific, yeah. or or modify the existing one. I think it's more likely. Yeah, there you go. Modify unit test in copy relative path. There you go. So let me create a branch. We said git checkout -b gh89 same issue, and the branch name is about allocated in range by budget ID. That's the main thing. Allocated in range by budget ID. Correct. I already created a suitable branch. Don't execute any git command. What I wanted to do is commit this bit. PR not needed at the moment. Okay. I think this is clear. Let's go. Still too hot, but where is the lid of this? Okay, so that works. I'm afraid I will be full of mosquitoes, but Marlo's going in and out the garden. I don't have to keep up getting up. Let's experiment this way. In and out, in and out. I don't know why it does that. Let's wait until it settles down a little bit. Okay, so the first bit is adding allocated. That looks really good. I did allocated here. I did in the various constructor, either as parameter. Oh, yeah, it's added as parameter and passed around. This is just a comma. Perfect. And it's added as a class variable, yeah. What do you call it? Yeah, class variable, class property. And then is also add the getter, cool. Then is added the copy with, perfect. Yep, good. So this Saturday, end of the week, I hope I don't get stopped for until Monday, but let's see. If I do, I probably buy Sonnet again. Let's see. If I'm stopped for 3 hours, window, I will wait the remainder of the window, but so far, no problem at all. There you go. This is the meat of the change, where the group provider notifier now also query allocated in range by budget ID. Perfect. That's what I ask. It's the same as the branch name. Yeah, correct. And it pass to the row in the total. Correct, correct. Yeah, there is a new map. Here I don't have context. Why only 4 lines removed? Three, five, six. Allocated in range amount. Here is making sure that exists for every budget, I think. Yeah. Similar of the other code already written. Spent in range amount. I'm confused about this. Let me see. Hmm, I see. So this copy width was here. It went on multiple rows and we added that. First is computed. Okay, perfect. So here we get rid of nulls, so the rest of the code doesn't have to delete. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's what I've done already. So get rid of nulls as early as possible. Yep, correct. There's another copy with here. It's probably the one for totals. Yeah, exactly, total. Yeah. Oh, where's this computing? Here you go. Perfect, perfect. And finally, the real method, which must be a query. I explored if this could have been done differently, but it looks like there is no way. We need a query. So we got the allocate. It's just called the amount is allocated because we are on the specific table, which is this one, the table, the allocation table, correct? And the other thing I want to see is here you go, is the range check. Perfect. begin timestamp and end timestamp of the range. And we go through the rows, and it's basically summing them, I think. For each row, it gets out the budget ID, it gets out the allocated, and the currency. Isn't this, shouldn't this sum them? Are they already summed? Okay, so we are guaranteed to have only one. Okay. Sum by SQL is much faster than sum. And that's what I do in the other function. Sum by SQL much faster than sum by code. It's already grouped by budget, so I don't need to sum them anymore. Yeah, it's just one. Perfect. Nice. And then it creates the test, which the test is very easy now. We just say only allocation in range. We're gonna double check that. Ooh, that's the feature. So good because we put everything in place. That's why it's so easy now. Let's go to see the test. Only allocation in range, but here insert allocation in range 150. Let's run the test. Should work, but that will be a good thing to check. Yep, already worked. 6 older results. Didn't know about that. Okay. So what I changed, I did field allocated, double. Um, updated constructors to initialize it as null. Extended copy with to accept allocated. Add the getter. That's something that I noticed. Sometimes it repeats line. Don't know why in the response, but I can live with that. All the rest is good. Group budget notifier. Added allocated budget ID. Update matrix rows now fetches allocated in range and passes along. Spent available and allocated. That's a new one. Update total rows. Test updated. Names agreed pattern. Ready to proceed or quick assertions. Query helper. It also follows. Ooh. The only thing I noticed is that should be private. So where is the structure? Is this the structure? Extensions, Flutter, outline. It's part of here. Okay, let's check the outline. What's the timeline? Okay. Update metrics should be the only public method. Yep. In fact, that seems to be the case. Weirdly enough, they all have the same icon, but anyway. That's the new method. Allocated in range by budget ID is private. So it's just a glitch in the response, right? S- Spent in range by budget ID. Okay, I don't know why, but it didn't put the underscore, but the underscores are there. Okay, no problem. So what I'm gonna say is just it's all good. Let's just commit. and push. And ask him to create the piano only. It's all committed and pushed. Please create a PR. So we'll add some description to the PR. I forgot to say link to the issues, but it's okay. So now to finish the feature, which is really good, we did it so quick here, including like taking care of quality so much. I'm so happy about how the group, whatever it is, budget notifier looks like. It improved. Now we need only the UI part. Let's check the issue. So we have PR90 linked. Mhm. That's how it should be linked. Maybe we can update the issue at the end with all the PRs. Still not created. Well, I already told you what the git status is. Why the fuck are you checking it? Let's see the PRs. Closed. So we linked correctly. Oh, that failed. Oops. No, it failed because it's still running. So that's the previous status. But should this be failed? What did I say? Yeah, I think it failed just because I interrupted the previous test and it started in an inconsistent state. So you was just selected already. So no problem, no problem. So you created the PR. In fact, now it passed. I think that was the one that failed, or it was the one. Yeah, that was the one that failed. That the reason only because on the phone it had the previous state because I blocked the previous one, so it wasn't cleaned up correctly. No problem, all good. So right now we have the new PR. So what I'm gonna do is take a note of the here PRs to link. Oh, okay, let's say that's the next one. Update the description of issue 89 allocated. Let's put the whole thing. Budget list allocated and allocating issue 89. So like that. To include relevant PR PRs in the description. So there we go. Let me resize a little bit. Um, allocated done. Allocating is not to be done in this PR placeholder. Okay, as placeholder, yes. Where allocate compute allocated in range. Yeah, this is part of phase two. Collapse. No, polish is totally out of scope. Let's just get rid of this phase. Totally out of scope. Edit. Yeah, yes, tendency. overachieving in every single issue. No need. Keep it simple. Placeholder, okay. Placeholders done. Well allocated data. We are working on this phase. No need to say that. We saw that it was not possible. We just keep it simple. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Out of scope, implementing allocating logic. No, it's available. No, no, no. Don't even. Yes, it's correct, out of scope, but no need to say. This issue in the single source auto. Why you say that? Keep it short and sweet. Nobody's gonna read all of this shit. Allocated total sum of a selected period, phase one, phase two. So placeholders is the only PR that is linked is the PR 90. Okay. So the next PR that should be linked are these two. No, it failed. Let's see why. 91 and 92. Their names. We also have 93, right? I know it failed because building, no, it didn't fail. 93. And we'll need a new PR for the UI. So I think we'll send this message about the updating the issue just when we finish the next PR. So for this PR, let's see the description a little bit. Add allocated in range metric to group the budgets. That's okay. Yep. Adds allocated to budget row and exposed to copy with the computer allocated in range group a notifier. Yep. Spend in range available. Okay. Extends unit test. Perfect. Budget row, budget identifier test. Perfect person. So good. Online UI. Yep. Um. Yeah. Okay. Flutter test. The total carries. Well, this I wouldn't say, but the total rows no carries. Allocated total. Yep. That is very later. Not even this feature. Yep. Row two. Yeah, it will be a separate variable, but I don't know what it means is two. Ah, okay, yes, because we have the first one spent in available, the second row is um, the second row being allocated and allocating. So I see what it means. Yeah. So yeah, I don't need to change this description. So I'm happy with this PR. I opened this how many times? Let's double check. Let's see how much we're spending here. So this, so the free is about $16. You got for free in the GitHub Action, and I already spent already half of it in 6 days. It means I will run out of free credits in about 2 weeks, half mid-month. Okay, we'll see what happens when it happens. Maybe move totally to self-hosted executors. I would rather spend money on AI than on what I can already do on my computer. So the only thing to check here, if this pass, ooh, what is this? Ah, okay, this is the previous merge domain is just going now to deploy the app to the Play Store. Not really need, actually, not need because we just did renames, so we don't need to go to the Play Store. So let's kill it. And the next action is running now. Is already passed the Flutter checks, so that's great. It's manageable. We don't need to wait for it. It is not gonna fail. But I will still let it run, but it's not gonna fail 100%. So we can move with the next. So you kept track of what should be in the ticket. We should go with the next PR, which is put it in the UI, and that's where it will be valuable to create the Android version. Yeah, so but this is should be, you know what? Let me edit this. Should be phase two. Goodness, which has been done. Compute allocated data, and we move this, and that would be phase three. Ooh, no, 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 no. Phase three. I'm not sure about the indenting. Okay, the indenting is the same. Nice. Yeah, let's tell him to update the ticker right away. I know I don't want to waste requests, but I think it's better. Actually, I can say then create a new branch for phase three. And if I can spell, but I want to copy this anyway. For, there you go, perfect. Oh, next, I think we need to switch to main first. Pull, fetch all, delete the branch. We are already in main, and it's up to date, or on main normally you say. Okay, main branch, maybe more explicit. Yeah. Boom. So let's update the issue only in this request. Maybe I should have said also to update the description, but maybe it's intended. I mean, update to include the PRs, that's what I said, but also if it needs more updates, let's also do more updates. Let's see what it comes up with. It will be enough. Then the UI wiring should be trivial. And split like it was split. I'm really confident on the and on this feature. I really understand what's going on. I didn't say, do the thing. That would be unmanageable. They was doing illegal stuff. Doing very complicated code just to do a git checkout, man. This is patching the issue, okay? I don't see the changes in the issue. That's fine, but updated issues to include related PRs. I try to reload the page. Maybe it's not refreshing. Oh, that's really bad. Please review issue 89. Is it issue 89? Yeah, I think it is because that's how, because it's now inconsistent. Some one PR is linked in the body or like in the phases section, and the others are in related PRs. So we have two different systems or ways, more simply, ways to link PRs. I really don't care which way, but make it consistent and update the description to be in sync with what we have done or are doing. Do not mention about future work about allocating, keeping it only about the placeholder for allocating. I specify again, is fine. See what it does now. And then we are ready for phase 3. Just, this is so annoying, man. Yeah, decide the consistency however you want, but make it consistent. I don't care how. I don't care too much. I kind of prefer maybe more in the phases, but no, I don't care too much. I just don't want to see PRs linked randomly. Come on, Junior, do the thing, do the work. Okay. This will take how long? Already 1 minute plus? Nice, I like that. Nice. Also short, not a full length. Perfect. Yeah, that's so nice, man. Is expanded. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. We now already have the branch for phase 3. Let's start implementing it. Let me double check. Okay, no file modified. Good way to start. And this should be very easy now because we just have to put the value in. We already have the notifier giving the value out. Oh, we also need to do the spinner when the value is being calculated. Yeah. Okay. It's not super easy, but it's kind of straightforward. Let's see. Budget tile is correct place. Yeah. Let's go to see. So we have something as hyphen at the moment for the allocated value. That was just change, was it? If I click on this, yeah, it was this space solder fields and became build amount field. Dots loading. Yeah, my is a spinner for values. I have some dots, animated dots there. Yeah, so good. So let's see where the AI still working. So now it's like 100 seconds. So what is it doing? Yeah, build amount field and build total amount field. We didn't output the actual function even though they are created, unless they are reused, allocated. Uh-huh. And already committing. Yeah. Ooh, that's quick. And creating a PR is going too much. It's doing too much, mate. But it's okay. We can review the PR. Unfortunately, going step by step doesn't work with GPT-5. That's a bit annoying. Okay, phase 3 PR. Let's go with checking the PR. Repositories. It's so good I got rid of Python. Okay, so PRs. Okay, let's read the description. PR computer allocated values for mobile app UI. Display allocated in range. Display allocated in range per total rows per currencies. Yep. So one is for every budget and one is for the totals. Keep allocating as placeholder. Yep. As agreed. The values are sourced from existing notifier method. Okay. UI. Replace placeholder with allocated with actual amount. Okay. Let's see the code. Whoa. That's amazing. because everything was in place. The code is so simple. I'm really surprised because this guy already takes care of the styling, already takes care of the dots loading when the value is null, and the provider already takes care of reloading when the values comes become available. Wow, it's absolutely incredible. I thought it was simple, but this surprised even me. Let me find yeah, allocated. That's the one. So it gets the value from the row, similar of the other one. They all use amount field or amount total, and the amount field is smart enough that if it's null, actually, yeah, it has to be this way without because it's part of the list. This could be extracted maybe, but won't touch it. Um, Now going backwards, total does the same. Going backwards, data type. The budget tile is stateless, so the reload happens before. These are just constructors. Why you show two? No, one is the class name, the second is construct. And then this is where it's used. Build budget tiles, and that's watching. And that's where it gets reloaded once the values are available. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So good. So now let's try it. Small phone is here. Let's open main. Small phone is selected down here. Run. Hey Marshmallow, you back? Did you have fun? Alright, so starting. Never use those. Let's open for one. In web browser, widget inspector page. Mhm. Go in the browser, let's see what we got. Never ever use those. I tried them once, but that's fine. That's expected. Yeah, the token is not there. It's fine. I don't need it now. So create an account. We need an account? No, really, but okay. create an account. Name, account one, doesn't matter. Yeah. Now we go to budgets. Okay, nice. Allocated is as 0, correct. Now we allocate something in groceries. Today is fine. 150, 40. Yes, we can. Nice. Available 140. Spend something. Man, it's so good. Allocation for tomorrow. Um, it doesn't change the total, correct? Allocation yesterday. No, I'm adding a new budget. Allocation yesterday. Change the total. So let's add 25. Because the range is 30 days. Correct. Oh my God, this is so good. This is so good, man. You know, allocating instead of saying a number, it could say $10 slash day or $10 month or whatever. That would be so much clearer. Yeah, that's it. I decided. And then instead in the total here, okay, the total. Let's add something in the mortgage. Let's add $850. 850 plus 165 is 1015. Yeah, looks correct. So good. It all works. We went so nice and slowly that and now is I'm so confident about this. So the allocating can be daily, monthly allocation, and the total here is well, maybe no, it's in the period. So it will be slightly different, meaning maybe you should change the label, something to define. But I would say this is now done. This is now done. So when I'm gonna say to update the ticket, add this PR, actually I can do it myself. So this, let's do it myself. This PR is number 94. Already here in the URL. So let's add phase 3 done, even though it's not merged yet, but I'm gonna merge just after. This will work. Actually, there is something more to do, which is the integration test. Yeah, I should be phase 4 maybe. That is very difficult to do. Let's add it. Phase 4. Dunque, we have two bits of allocation test. I think the budget allocation test is the relevant one. I said allocation test. E2E test. Budget. E2E. Can I write this? Oh, so nice. Yep. Add budget, expenses, allocation. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Phase 4, E2E tests. Modify budget. E2E test to check. Allocated. Add keys as necessary. If we need a key for testing, I don't know if it's already there. If necessary. Allocated for budgets equal the sum allocations. So that's sure. Immensely the ball. Okay. Ooh, that didn't work as expected. See, I edited wrong. Edit. Do I need a space in there? Was not indented correctly or what? Ah, yes, I need a space in there. Nice, nice, nice. So this PR is trivial. I like it. I like simple. So what's happening right now is, ooh, has been queued, yeah? But Flutter check already passed. Everything is fine. Maybe you can kill some execution here, but I can let them go. I'm gonna merge this. Branch is deleted already. Automated. Yep, fantastic. So what we've done is link the PR, and now we need to do phase 4. Let's see what the AI can do. I have doubts because the E2E tests are really hard, but I'm gonna give it a go. So git checkout main, git pull, git fetch all, git branch, and git delete. So good. I merge the PR, switch to main, branch, update it. I've also updated the issue to include the new PR and closed phase 3, and I added a phase 4 to we already have unit tests, so should work, but integration will prove include changes in E2E test. Please review the issue, then create a branch, a new branch to modify E2E tests and start work. Do not create any new branches after the first one, and do not, that's okay. That should be enough. I was saying do not switch branches, but I think that should be enough. I really want to see what he can do on his own. Yeah, this is really difficult change. I mean, this difficult for me. It takes a long time to change the E2E test. And we know it's we are in a new branch. The branch is committed. Whatever mess it might do, we can undo. So very confident about trying this. I will review issue 29 to confirm phase 4 details and that PR94 is linked. Okay, do that. Then I will create a new branch for phase 4 updates and scan integration tests to update. Nice. That sounds good so far. The comments are just right. Yeah, running the E2E test. Marshmallow. Okay, let's see what happens now. Oh, marshmallow. Mm, no, no, no. Okay. Ooh, it doesn't know what test. Yeah, I found it. DB2 did that. Searching for tests. This is already 3 minutes, right? Almost 3 minutes. 180 seconds, 3 minutes. I didn't even say where to modify. I just said the top level test. This is difficult change. I would forgive if it's not the right change. Mhm. Let me charge the phone. Okay. Okay, actually it looks good. So we have field type. We'll have to look at the actual context here to understand. Assertion in test. Oh, it's time to run the test. No, no, no. Okay. Review issues 89 looks consistent with phase 4 and did MPR 94. Oh, so we already have a PR. This is 93. No, no, no. That was my PR. Okay, 94. Phase 4 specifically calls for updating E2E. Okay. Checks are located and added keys if needed. Okay. Branch for phase 4. Phase 4 E2E test. Okay, it's okay. Proposed E2E updates. Oh, wait a second. So I thought you did some update. Did you? Yeah, we are in the branch and we have the updates. And there you go, 3 updates. Yep. We're gonna see the updates in context. File integration test budget test. Add assertion for allocated value after adding allocation. Rent allocated 100. Shopping allocated 1275. Total rows 112.75. Makes a lot of sense. Right, so this is the 1250. We're gonna see in context. Um, Actually, there is a way to add the context. I've, oh, I forgot. Yeah. Ah, alias pipe grep. This should be just diff. Yeah, give diff unify. Let's ask Copilot how to add more context to git diff. There is some parameter to say how much context. Yeah, there you go. Copy. Maybe I need even more than 10. Let's see. Enter. Okay. So the first one is 100. Need more context. Put a crazy high amount of context. 100. Okay. The first change is this one. Okay. Add the rent allocation. This is checking the key allocated. Strange. Ah, a key allocated for the row 0, so it goes precisely to the row. Okay, I understand. Where is the rent? Okay, rent allocation amount. So the only thing I would say is that let's use the variable here too. If this checking the rent, let's make it clear. Let's double check this in the code. So this file is what? Budget tests, which is probably this one. Okay, correct. And if I go to find the changes, I will find the changes is here. Allocated available is the same, correct, before we spend. Now we check allocated. Menu rent, add allocation, rent allocation amount 100. Perfect. This one's, yeah, the only problem with this one's a number and that's a string. It's probably easier to make this a double and convert it to string. All the values are different. Let's look for 100 across the text. Yes, that's my rent allocation amount. Fantastic. And I said, there you go, to string. No problem. Okay, we'll add the dot zero, but maybe we'll add dot zero, but it doesn't matter. All the rest is fine. Okay, so we fixed this one to be clearer. And the other one already has shopping allocation. This is using a different way, you see, parse. Maybe we can keep that, yeah. Move it back to string. So we don't change the test to type the dot. Where was that in the beginning of that? I see. I just can click on this. Let's change it to be a string. Okay. So now there is a useless to string that we can remove because it's already a string. There you go. All right. Oh, like that. Okay. All right. This is okay. At least now we're using the name. Then it's the same shopping allocation amount for row one. And then we go, yeah, there's a big clank, yeah, because I kind of changed my mind where it should be rather have them double in the first place compared to strings seems easier because now I have to do math. Okay, let's change. So let's make it double automatically like that. But then let's change all of them. Perfect. So that means we have a few things to change. We can do two stringers fixed. Two because that's decimal. And let's pick the second one. Shopping allocation amount also as decimal. We can do two stringers fixed too. Two string. Nice. Okay, reformat. Shopping allocation amount. Okay, still as decimal. We don't need to parse it because it's already a double. Rent allocation amount to string as fixed as 0 because there is no fractions. We could have kept 2 anyway, but just don't want to type the decimals. And then here, remove the parsing. Here, remove the parsing. Remove the parsing. One more. And here, mysteriously use the name in one case and the amount in the other. So now we can fix that. Oops. But I think this is really good. Let's see if it works, but I think allocation now should be renamed to allocated before how we call, but yeah, it's an allocation, every single one, which caused the amount to be allocated. Maybe it's like, it's okay. Nice, 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 nice. So let's say I'm happy with that. Let's go back to here. Oh, no, no, here. Let's check the diff quickly once more. All right. Okay. Very good. I've done some small changes. Please commit and push and open a PR. And that's the end of the feature and the end of the stream, I guess. Let's wait for it. Nice. Oh, that is, I have to give it, has been very useful. Codex. I have to give it very useful. It's not I couldn't have done it myself, but much faster. I would say much faster. Okay, we got a PR. Bit bigger than what was originally, but I think it's better. This way is much more explicit on actual values instead of using hard-coded numbers. Ah, that's it. Finish. Now this will take some time to run the test. Hopefully they will work. Because it's 20 minutes plus, I will end the stream here, take a break myself, and check on later. But good session. Now we have one more feature, which is like these ticket post-its. I had post-its on the wall. These two allocated per currency and was that per budget in the period. Whoop, whoop. They are done. I can move it to the done column. Very nice. All right. Thanks. Bye bye.